get the MRIs because we believe it's important. We have a belief in Australia that everybody's entitled to health care that is decent and fair. This is the Australian ethos. Again I say, we need to wait for the coroner's report. The official department response is that he tripped and fell and hit his head. It is not surprising that the department are providing no further comment. As doctors we know a few more things. Feysal was unwell for several months before he died, and he had many visits seeking for help. Those he lived with, as we have already heard, signed a letter just 3 days before he died. They said he was getting worse day by day. Any doctor in Australia, regardless of their political beliefs or their personal views, knows that a 27-year-old who is having recurrent blackouts has got a serious cause. We would hope that such a tragic series of events would lead to an immediate review of all the factors that contributed to his death. That changes would be implemented immediately rather than waiting for the very slow coronial process to force these changes. And indeed, in any hospital or medical facility in Australia, such an inquiry would already be underway. But this is not going to happen. It's not going to happen on Manus Island. It's not going to happen on Nauru. Even now, as we stand here at this vigil, Doctors for Refugees are advocating for a young man on Nauru who is also having a series of blackouts and who is also desperately in need of further tests, including an MRI. He is terrified that he will suffer the same fate as Feysal. This feeling of terror is pervasive in the camps, even for the young and the fit and the healthy. What happens if they fall, or they get an infection, or a kidney stone, or appendicitis, or their child swallows an object that they shouldn't? So you can imagine the terror of the elderly and the people who already have chronic illness. We know that it's a long flight to Australia. It will take about 12 hours minimum for a medevac to Nauru. At the Carbet Karzai inquest, we found that 5 departmental officials had to approve any deportation, any removal. And now we have a new extra hurdle that IMH believes you have to have the symptoms to warrant that referral. We take healthcare for granted. Until we put ourselves in their position, we cannot appreciate their distress. We take it for granted that if we are imprisoned, that if we are unable to move, that we will be cared for, that our concerns will be listened to, and that we will not be left to die. The people on Manus Island and Nauru do not have this comfort. They have seen too many of their friends, too many with illness or injury or misadventure ignored, and then the catastrophic effects that follow. The general feeling is that IHMS doctors believe that they are making things up just to get to Australia. Just 2 days after Hamid Karzai's life support was turned off in 2014, a doctor in Manus Island referred to a specialist, saying that he didn't perform a very basic test because they often exaggerate to get attention. This level of arrogance is only possible if the doctor feels there are going to be no repercussions, that nothing will happen to him. They believe that those affected with refugees and asylum seekers have no one there to uphold their rights. And while considering arrogance, the idea that someone would set fire to themselves, which is not only disfiguring but an appallingly horrific and agonising painful death, would also do this just to come to Australia, shows a breathtaking arrogance and a complete lack of understanding of what is happening to these people. There is no possible response. The lack of rights is so pervasive. The 2 asylum seekers that were bashed on New Year's Eve have been accused of being drunk and disorderly, and yet when they asked for blood tests to prove that they were not drunk, they were not given these. There are now reports that one is passing blood in his urine and has abdominal pain, and the other thinks he may have a broken hand. What medical care will they get? What justice will they get? It would be good to conclude on a positive note, but there are none. We can only ask that every person or advocate who is in touch with someone in one of these camps asked them to meticulously document every interaction with either IHMS or the department. Names, dates, and what was said. This did not help Feysal, did not help Hamid Karzai, but the witnesses from the staff were put in the witness box for up to 5 hours. They were interrogated by lawyers from Hamid Karzai's family, by lawyers from Doctors for Refugees, by lawyers from the council assisting the coroner. These staff found this extremely uncomfortable. Many had already left the department. No one wants to be in this position, following orders or not following orders. If we cannot break this cruel and appalling system from the outside, we need to break it from within. So together, with whatever resources we can muster, we must defeat this system. With these deaths, there is a clear pattern. Minister Dutton has a responsibility that he is clearly failing. He's not keeping these people safe. If Manus Island and Nauru are not closed, there will be more deaths. This is a clear warning to Malcolm Turnbull and Peter Dutton. There will be more deaths. These are preventable. They have to stop.
Thank you, Margaret. There are some buckets that look like